Hello, welcome to World News. I'm Neha Shukla. Let's start with headlines. Delta is a warning. WHO sounds alarm as China sees big COVID surge in months. China's most serious surge of coronavirus infections in months spread to two more areas, Fujian province and the sprawling megacity of Chongqing as of Saturday. Israel's NSO blocked some government clients from using its spyware over misuse claims. Reports suggest the Israeli cybersecurity company NSO Group claims it only sells its spyware to countries for the purpose of fighting terrorism and crime. And Joe Biden nominates Indian-American attorney Rashad Hussain as ambassador at large, international religious freedom. White House says 41-year-old Hussain is the first Muslim to be nominated to the key position. Mushrooming outbreaks of the highly contagious Delta variant prompted China and Australia to impose stricter COVID-19 restrictions on Saturday as the WHO urged the world to quickly contain the mutation before it turns into something deadlier and draws out the pandemic. China's most serious surge of coronavirus infections in months spread to two more areas on Saturday, Fujian province and the sprawling megacity of Chongqing. More than 200 cases has been linked to a Delta cluster in Nanjing city where 9 cleaners at an international airport tested positive, with the outbreak spanning Beijing, Chongqing and 5 provinces as of Saturday. The nation where the disease first emerged has rushed to prevent the highly transmissible strain from taking root by putting more than 1 million people under lockdown and reinstituting mass testing campaigns. Worldwide coronavirus infections are once again on the upswing, with the World Health Organization announcing an 80% average increase over the past 4 weeks in 5 of the health agency's 6 regions, a jump largely fueled by the Delta variant. First detected in India, it has now reached 132 countries and territories. Delta is a warning. It's a warning that the virus is evolving, but it is also a call to action that we need to move now before more dangerous variants emerge. The WHO's emergency director, Michael Ryan, told a press conference. He stressed that the game plan still works, namely physical distancing, wearing masks, hand hygiene and vaccination. But both high and low income countries are struggling to gain the upper hand against Delta, with the vastly unequal sprint for shots leaving plenty of room for variants to wreak havoc and further evolve. In Australia, where only about 14% of the population is jabbed, the third largest city of Brisbane and other parts of Queensland state were to enter a snap COVID-19 lockdown Saturday as a cluster of Delta variant bubbled into 6 new cases. And in another news, Israeli cybersecurity company NSO Group, which is at the center of the Pegasus snooping scandal, has temporarily blocked several government clients around the world from using its spyware technology as the firm probes its alleged abuses, according to a US media report. The alleged use of the Pegasus software to spy on journalists, human rights defenders, politicians and others in a number of countries, including India, triggered concerns over issues relating to privacy. The suspensions are in response to an investigation by the Pegasus Project, a consortium of media outlets that reported the company's Pegasus spyware was linked to hack and potential surveillance. There is an investigation into some clients. Some of those clients have been temporarily suspended. National Public Radio quoted a source in the Israeli company as saying, the source, a company employee, did not name or quantify the government agencies or their countries that NSO has recently suspended from using its spyware, asserting that Israeli defense regulations prohibit the company from identifying its clients. The report by NPR, an independent non-profit media organization, said. NSO's ongoing internal investigation checked some telephone numbers of people that NSO's clients reportedly marked as potential targets. The Israeli government has also faced pressure since it regulates the sale of spyware technology to other countries. It has also launched a probe into allegation against NSO. The NSO employees said the company was cooperating fully with the probe and sought to prove to Israeli officials that the people named in the media reports were not Pegasus targets. NSO says it has 60 customers in 40 countries, all of them intelligence agencies, law enforcement bodies and militaries. The report said the company says it only sells its spyware to countries for the purpose of fighting terrorism and crime. US President Joe Biden has nominated Indian-American attorney Rashad Hussain as Ambassador at Large for International Religious Freedom, the first Muslim to be nominated to the key position. According to the White House, 41-year-old Hussain is currently Director for Partnerships and Global Engagement at the National Security Council. He previously served as Senior Counsel at the Department of Justice National Security Division. During the Obama administration, he served as U.S. Special Envoy to the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, U.S. Special Envoy for Strategic Counter-Terrorism Communication, and Deputy Associate White House Counsel. In his roles as envoy, Hussain worked with multilateral organizations such as the OIC and the UN, foreign governments and civil society organizations to expand partnerships in education, entrepreneurship, health, international security, science and technology, and other areas. He also spearheaded efforts on countering anti-Semitism and protecting religious minorities in Muslim-majority countries. Prior to joining the Obama administration, Hussain worked on the House Judiciary Committee, serving as a judicial law clerk. An Indian truck driver in the US has been sentenced to 15 months in prison and fined $4,710 for money laundering and firearm offences, according to the Department of Justice on Friday. Lovepreet Singh of Indiana pleaded guilty in March to one count of money laundering, it said. He admitted to receiving and transmitting money obtained by his co-defendants as a result of the fraud scheme, and one count of unlawful possession of a firearm. It said, according to the indictment and testimony in court beginning in 2015 and continuing through 2018, Lovepreet Singh conspired with 9 other defendants located across the US and India to commit the federal offences of wire fraud, mail fraud and bank fraud, in addition to offences of money laundering, aggravated identity theft and passing fictitious obligations. Conspirators would obtain the telephone numbers and email addresses of computers belonging to various individuals throughout the US, the Department of Justice said in a statement. The conspirators engaged telephone calling centers in India, which would place calls to the US numbers and appear to be coming from US-based toll-free numbers. They would call victims in the US, advising the victims that malware and ransomware were infecting the victims' computers and devices, and that the victims should contact the conspirators for assistance, federal prosecutors alleged. According to court documents, they misrepresented themselves as Apple support or Microsoft or other legitimate and known technical support services and offered their assistance to remove the software in return for payment. Victims responded to the conspirators' phone call and pop-up messages to send money and payments by wire, check and other means. Victim also granted conspirators access to the victims' bank accounts and to the victims' computers, permitting the conspirators to further enrich themselves by fraudulent appropriation and taking of money and property of victims, it added. So that's all for you today. I'm Neha Shukla signing off here. Bye-bye.